What's good, YouTube? This your man Spill Dog. They starting to talk about that fight. Talk about Crawford and Canelo fighting again. I really never really, I understand Crawford want to fight for the money. But I never really liked that fight for Crawford. Didn't like it for Spence when he was talking about it. To be honest with you, it all depends on what weight they gonna get, but more likely, Canelo gonna call the shots on that. He bringing in the money. Canelo is not gonna negotiate like Spence did. He not gonna fall for nothing. It's gonna be his way. They ain't gonna do it. And I don't think Canelo gonna fight at a weight that he gonna be uncomfortable at. I don't. I think if they fought, I don't see Canelo going down no farther than 165, and he might make Crawford come all the way up to 160. He just might if he really want that fight. And I think that'd be a big mistake for Crawford. Well, I ain't gonna say a big mistake because he gonna make the money, but I think that's a fight he lose. I think that's when he finally climb one division too high against a fighter that's too good at that level. Canelo he been in the game a long time, but in age he's not that old. I think he's younger than Crawford. They're about the same height, but Canelo is the punching power is gonna be probably the main thing. That's the big issue for me. Canelo punching power is gonna be It's gonna be different from anybody Crawford been in a professional ring with. No, for sure. And I just the way one thing about it, if Canelo willing to take the fight, he damn sure think he can win. And as only I see Crawford would have had a reach advantage. That's about it. That's about it. I mean, and he got better foot movement and all that. But Canelo been in the ring with the best of them. Canelo done been in the ring with some of everybody in some of every division. So he got more. He may have more experience than Crawford to some degree. If not, it's definitely on board. And I just think Canelo power, his ring IQ, the trainers that he got, he won't come in there overconfident. He won't go in there and give it to him. Crawford haven't been studying. I keep telling y'all, I like Crawford. I like Spence. There's a lot of fighters I like, but the fight that Crawford had against Earl Spence, he's not gonna look that good against nobody else because I believe he was getting ready for Spence for a lot of years. I think there wasn't no one training camp or no, he been knowing for a long time. I think he been knowing since he had got to 140 pounds that Spence was his big fight, and he had been years preparing for the boy. You could tell he was ready for every mistake, every movement. That's why he had a much harder time with the guy last week. It ain't so much that the guy is so good. It's just that Crawford has spent years preparing for Earl Spence. He not gonna look that good against anybody. He didn't look that good against Sean Porter. He didn't look that good against a lot of fighters. That Spence had already beaten. It's just that Crawford knew that was his fight one day, and he was 100% ready for it. And I think Earl just looked past Crawford. Well, I ain't gonna say look past him, but I just think he didn't prepare, and he didn't take it as serious as Crawford did. And I think the fight with Canelo would be. I just think don't get me wrong. I would be rooting for Bud in that fight, but I just think he won't be able to get away from the punching power for 12 rounds. The kid caught him a couple of times. Say the guy he fought last week. Saturday caught him a few times, and that guy ain't on Canelo level. So it's gonna be some give. It's gonna be some big shots landed in that fight. But as much as Crawford want to win that fight, that fight is about money. That's gonna be the final chapter right there. If Crawford land that fight with Canelo, that's the one that's gonna be his last fight. He won't fight again after that. He won't need to fight again after that. Win, lose, or draw. And can Crawford pull out a decision? Yes, he can. Yes, he can. I think he's a good enough boxer that if he all the way on that night and everything go as planned, he might can possibly outbox Canelo. But I don't think he'll get the unless the judges don't all of a sudden change how they feel against Canelo, it's hard. That guy, I don't think you can beat him on the scorecard. So let's say it like that, and that speaks for itself. So Canelo, one of them guys. Let me say it like this: I ain't gonna say you can't beat him on the scorecard, but you're gonna have to dominate him almost like Bivol did. I don't know, man. I just wouldn't want to take a chance going to the scorecards with Canelo, and I don't see Crawford knocking Canelo out. Canelo, not only is he stronger, been a bigger, stronger fighter for many years. He done had a rock solid chin his whole career, so I find a hard time seeing him get knocked out that night. But if they had a fight, shit, dog, the whole world would be watching it because it's definitely it'd be worth it. Like I said, I'm definitely tuning in. But I think that's when Crawford went one division too high. I think, and once again, I don't think Canelo gonna do nothing to accommodate him. I don't see it. I think Canelo gonna make him come all the way up to 168 if he want that fight. I don't see him doing none of what Earl did to make that fight. I don't see him doing none of that. So I don't think this won't be a case where Crawford can go out there and outfox him and out negotiate him because Canelo don't need him. He don't need that fight. He can make the same money fighting anybody to some degree. So I mean, I in a way, I don't even want to see that fight, to be honest with you. But if that's the fight they're gonna have, I'll watch it. But I would rather see somebody more around Crawford regular weight 154, and I would rather see Canelo fight somebody more around his weight 168, like Benavidez. Stop trying to maneuver around that real smoke. That's what it seems like Canelo doing to me, taking every easier route he can to not face Benavidez in that ring. And I used to be a big fan of Canelo until he started this major cherry picking he's been doing over the last 5 years or so. But that's it for me on this video. If you like the video, to like and subscribe. Till next time, it's your boy Spill Dog. I'm out.